So, like always, I want to thank you guys for coming out and covering Penn State football. I thought we had another great crowd, which is awesome for our community and for our athletic department and really for the entire state. So we appreciate the type of support that we get, and we don't take it for granted. Having 106,000 fans in there, having another whatever the number is out there tailgating, we appreciate that and don't take it for granted. It's interesting looking at kind of our stat sheet that we use in terms of the critical areas. I wouldn't necessarily say it felt like this, but we won all of them. Drive start, we won. Turnover battle, that's been huge for us so far this season, 4-0. Again, the penalty battle, I wouldn't have thought we won that, but we won that as well. And then the explosive play battle, I wouldn't necessarily felt like it felt that way during the game, but we won that. Both our offense and our defense met our goal. Same thing with middle eight. Didn't necessarily felt like we won the middle eight because we had a chance to score at the end of the half and didn't, but we won that too. So obviously a lot to be proud of, and big reason why we're 1-0 today. But there's things that obviously we got to get cleaned up and corrected. So overall, we're happy to be 1-0. We'll enjoy it for the night. We need to get better next week, starting on Sunday. This film will be really important to watch and evaluate and critique. But again, I'm pleased and happy with being 1-0, and we'll go from there. Open up to questions. Who's supposed to have it?
Rich.
That's what I thought. Rich.
Can you pass it out to Rich? Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Rich.
How would you describe the performance by the offense? Do you think it was a step forward or a step back or the same?
I thought they did a good job. They played very aggressive cover zero a ton. And what happens in cover zero, you obviously got no safeties deep. When you do that and it's a passing situation, you're always going to have a free blitzer. You're bringing more than the offense can block, and you're going to have two extra guys down in the box. And they played that a ton today. We got to be able to hurt people when they line up in that defense. And although we were effective, we didn't hurt people. When people play cover zero, you should be excited on offense. And you should create huge explosive plays, because if you break one tackle or make one guy miss, there's no one left. We didn't do that today, and that made it harder than it needed to be in the run game and in the pass game. I give them credit because a lot of people will play cover zero as a change-up, and if they have success, they'll do it again. But most people won't play it as much as they played it today. So you got to give them credit.
I never thought I'd see the day, but just in the last couple of years, a few coaches have begun playing pre-prescribed series with their young, prodigious quarterbacks. You obviously do not necessarily agree with that. What was your thinking today? Well, I'm not trying to read in your mind here, but.
Well, I'm saying, I don't understand the question when we've played a true freshman quarterback in every game this year before the game was.
Okay. Let me finish here.
Okay.
I mean, there have been coaches who've done it every game, no matter the score, and I didn't necessarily think that was a good idea, but people are doing it for obvious reasons that we don't have to get into. What was your thinking today? And your macro thinking.
Yeah, our thinking today was just like it had been earlier in the season, had the same plan that we had against Ohio U, which was to try to get them a series in the second quarter, try to get them a series in the third quarter. It did not happen in the second quarter, just like it didn't happen in the Ohio U game. But we have played our true freshman backup quarterback in all 4 games that we've played this year, and that's, to me, somewhat unusual based on the schedule we have played, opening up with a conference game on the road and going to the SEC. So, no, that is a part of our plan, and we've done it. We've done it in all 4 games.
Mark?
James, can you address the impact Barney had on this game? And then on the flip side, do you still feel you have a lot of things to figure out with that place kicking unit? I know one of them was a 50-yarder, but having an extra point blocked and then missing a relatively makeable one. Thanks.
Yeah, so kickoff is not where I want it to be. We're very inconsistent. One time we'll kick it 8 yards deep and in the corner, and the next time we're leaving it at the 5-yard line in the middle of the field. So that is not where it needs to be whatsoever. We ran the same protection. The last couple of years really have had no issues with it. We've made some personnel changes, which I thought got better. But then today, obviously, it reared its ugly head again, and then missed the field goals and an extra point. One was blocked and one was missed. So no, not where we need it to be at all.
James, you've been on the road, you've been at home so far, and obviously you're through your non-conference schedule. Where do you feel like some areas for growth are at this point, and what are some areas of strengths that you're either excited about or are better or further along than you maybe thought they would be after 4 games?
Yeah, defensively, obviously we got to be better on 3rd and long. We've done a really good job of getting people in the 3rd and long situations, and we're letting them out of it, or we're giving up too many yards and creating manageable 4th down situations if people want to go for it. That's an area that we clearly have to get better. Special teams is what we just talked about. Offensively, I haven't really seen the numbers yet for today, but we have got to be able to be more efficient and effective on 3rd down. That's got to be a strength for us, and then we got to be able to consistently run the ball, and that is through scheme, that is through development, that's through all of it, because we're going to need to do that. And when we've been our best so far this season, we've been able to do both, been able to throw the ball and run the ball effectively. So we'll continue to emphasize it, continue to coach it, continue to develop it. Obviously, I'm saying all this, and we had a running back rush for 100 yards. We got multiple guys that have the ability to do that, and we got guys that can make big plays. So there'll be a bunch off of this tape that we'll feel good about, and there'll be a decent amount that we need to correct, obviously.
James, it seemed like moments where your offense needed an answer, Catron Allen was the one to provide it in key areas. What kind of a step did he take forward today with his involvement, and just the ability to go get 8+ yards routinely, it seemed like?
Yeah, it's kind of who he is and who he's been. You guys are starting to see it now. I mean that in terms of we've been seeing it in the spring and seeing it in the summer a lot more than you guys have had the opportunity to. I don't think there's anybody in that locker room that's surprised with Catron's success. I do think they're really good complementary pieces, and we got 2 young backs that are really doing some good things to build on. So he's got really good vision, he's got really good contact balance, and he's got a really good understanding of how to set blocks up. And when you're able to do that, and you got the toughness that he has as well, then he can consistently get 8 to 12 yards, which obviously is what we need.
2 more. We'll go to Corey, and then we'll go to the top.
James, you went on the road last week. You get a significant victory, emotional. How do you think the team responded throughout the week and then today in terms of focus, the 1-0 mentality, and making sure they bring it as much for every single opponent?
Yeah, I think most importantly, we're 1-0. I thought, obviously, I didn't see some of the things that you talked about, today. I thought we had a really good week of practice and preparation. But the game left you sitting here saying, whether it was our focus, whether it was scheme, whether it was big play potential, I'm not sure. But when you look again at the stat sheet, you feel good about it, but it didn't necessarily always feel that way during the game. We weren't as consistent as we need to be with some of the things that we're doing really in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. But thought we had a really good week of practice. We did enough to be 1-0 this week, and we'll celebrate that. But to your point, there's a ton that we still got to get corrected between now and next Saturday.
James, it seemed like Sean started and ended the game well, but struggled there in the middle. How would you evaluate his play today?
Yeah, again, I think for us on offense, we have to be able to run and pass effectively. And I think when we get out of whack and do one too much, compared to the other, then that's where I don't think we're at our best. We got to continue to mix in the run. Our screen game has been effective for us as well. Moving the pocket's been very effective for us as well. We need to continue doing all those things, but I think it's not specific to one position or one guy. It's all of it. We gotta make sure that we can consistently run the ball against whoever we play, whether it's on the road in the SEC or whether it's home non-conference. We got to find a way to consistently be able to run the ball to stay on schedule and be as efficient as we possibly can and explosive as an offense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.